I'm here in Fredricton, New Brunswick. Yesterday I delivered a workshop on domestic violence. Some reflections from that workshop. We discussed the impact of domestic violence on children. I was helping folks to understand, appreciate that depending on that child's age and stage of moral development, they will internalize and understand and look at violence between parents in different ways. You know, if it's the young child and they see a parent getting hit, from their perspective, they may wonder what that parent did wrong in order to get hit. An older child may see that same parent having gotten hit, but being upset, being hurt, perhaps crying, and then that child at that age and stage is going to wonder, you know, how is that parent? It's not appropriate to get hit. It's akin to bullying. Then you get the older child still, it could be a preteen, a teenager, and there's a different sense of morality and values. And maybe that child is aware, maybe that parent had an affair, maybe that parent, from that child's perspective, aggravated the other parent. And they may see these behaviors in terms of equivalency. You know, if you do this, that's what happens. So when we're trying to understand the impact of violence between parents on children, so much depends on that child's age and stage in terms of when they're exposed to that behavior. And that is how they internalize it and move forward with that. So that was one reflection. Another is that many folks, in seeking to discuss domestic violence abuse with the folks they work with, their clients, may say, you know, have you been abused? And many lay persons will say no, not fully understanding what abuse is. So, you know, the reflection, the learning is, we don't say, were you abused? We ask, you know, how's your relationship? Do you ever feel like there's a lot of tension? Are you ever walking on eggshells? Oh, you are. Is there ever any shouting or yelling or screaming? Is there ever any name calling? If so, what are the names being used? There's a different intensity from some names or others. And if there are those high intensity names, is there ever pushing and shoving? Does anyone ever get hurt? So it's a different conversation when we want to help people explore the behavior associated with abuse without using the term abuse, because this helps them to reflect on behavior, not their view of what the behavior necessarily means. And then we are in a better position to be helpful. So these are just a couple reflections of what we chatted about in the workshop yesterday. The impact on children, depending on their age and stage and how they internalize what they experience. And then what does the lay person understand in terms of the behavior that they've experienced? I hope this is helpful. I'm Gary Derenfeld. I'm a social worker. It's such a pleasure being able to deliver this kind of information, to be helpful to those who serve others so that they could do so more effectively. Yoursocialworker.com. Bye now.